Hello and welcome to Spooning with me, Mark Wogan. Each week I am joined by a very special guest here at the Mount Street restaurant in Mayfair, where we talk about the food they love and the food that they think they hate. And we will challenge those perceptions by blindfolding them and feeding them various spoons. So taking on the spoons this week is a lady who used to enjoy a big breakfast. She's inspected a bit of food, but now she's spreading some joy. Will you please welcome Gaby Roslin?
Oh, thank you.
How are you, Gabs?
Oh, just so well to be with you.
I think we should divulge that we have met before.
Just a bit.
Because you used to occasionally work with someone that I know quite well.
I vaguely remember.
What was his name?
Vaguely remember. But what's even weirder is...
Oh, my dad. Yeah,
your brother also works with somebody I know quite well.
Yes, with your dad.
With my dad. It's a family affair.
Well, your dad taught my brother how to speak on the radio.
Yeah.
Because my brother used to read the news.
And your dad told me that it's not brain surgery, it's only TV.
What else did you learn from him?
How...
Well, just for those who don't know, we are talking
we're talking about Terry, your dad.
Wogan. Yeah.
Who I worked with for 12 years, I think it was, 13 years. We did Children in Need together for many years, and we did the Terry and Gaby show. What did I learn from your dad? That he and I felt exactly the same about not rehearsing. We never liked to rehearse anything. But he really didn't like to rehearse.
He hated it.
And I would at least do if we had an item to do. So if we were... I don't know, we were learning about, I remember there was a sale at Bonhams or Christie's with artwork from movies. So I was sort of going through it all. He went, I'm not even looking. He didn't, it was absolutely none at all. But he also, he took life not too seriously. And I did. I think that's why we just got on.
Yep.
Do you know what we used to do behind the scenes with Children in Need? I don't know if you know this. I don't know if I've shared it. Mm-hmm. If he had a sweet in his mouth, he'd go, where shall I put it? And then he'd put it in my mouth. And and if I had anything, I'd put it in his mouth. Yes, that's how close we were.
You two are disgusting.
I'm not advising anybody to do that.
But that's not where it started for you. When I was doing a little research on you, what I'd forgotten about was where you started out, which was Motormouth.
Even before that, I worked in telly.
So what was before Motormouth?
A show called Hippo, which I did on satellite television, and it's where I did that for a couple of years, and then I did Motormouth. So I started out on the first.
For those
cable
who aren't of a certain age, explain Motormouth.
Okay, so there was cable television first, and nobody had ever seen pan-European television before. So there was a daily programme, and it was a channel called Super Channel. Then I went to Motormouth, which was a Saturday morning kids show. Because in the old days, it wasn't food on a Saturday morning. It was kids telly. No. And we were up against the BBC. They had something called Going Live. And there was Motormouth. And it was the show that Take That first ever performed on, and all sorts. And I was with Neil Buchanan, Mr. Art Attack.
I know.
So I've had the most, I've had the most amazing television husbands. Neil Buchanan, Chris Evans, Terry Wogan. I mean,
I know.
You don't get better.
But you've had a lot of TV husbands of a very high calibre, because you also had, so you started on the Big Breakfast with Chris, you launched that together.
Yeah.
And that was incredible at the time.
31 years ago.
But there must have been such a sort of sudden whirlwind for you in terms of notoriety or fame, if you want to call it that, to go...
I hate that word.
I know, so do I.
Do you know what it was? It was when I was doing Motormouth, and I did that for 3 years, that the press would say, what would you like to do next? And I'd say, I'd like to do Saturday morning telly every day of the week. I never thought that was going to happen. So when I started auditioning, and it's sort of a famous story, but Chris, I had to screen test 5 times. And then the last time, Chris just went, this is ridiculous, just give the girl the job. And they used to ask me things like, are you always this happy and nice? I go, well, yeah, I love television.
I mean, you are. We bump into each other a lot, and we spent quite a bit of time together. You are always ridiculously happy.
I'm very lucky.
I know, because with your new book, Spread the Joy, out to buy now, you kind of explain how to be like you.
Well, it's not to be like me. It's tips and tricks to feel joy and then how to pass it on. And there are learnt things that you can do. There are things you can do. And I know that life is really tough for everybody. So there were a lot of people asking me to put it into a book. So that's why I did it.
Yeah. And I think that's why you and Dad got on, because you were both spreaders of joy.
Oh, he was a true joy spreader.
Well, I mean, that's one of the lovely things I have now, but he's not live, is I get to hear from people like you and people I've never met before that he met. And if they've met him, they all have a significant story about how he just made them feel good at that moment.
It was his twinkle.
What's his twinkle?
He had a twinkle.
Oh my God.
You've got the twinkle. You've got the twinkle. Yeah, you got the twinkle. You got the twinkle.
Well, I hope so. Some of it passed through the.
Of course it does. You're so like your dad. I think you're more like your dad than Alan, your brother.
Right. But Alan's
Alan.
But what Alan has is Dad's calmness. Because Dad could be very calm in a situation. That's what made him great with live broadcasting.
That's right. Not brain surgery.
Nothing ever fazed him.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and there was a couple of fantastic gaffes over the years.
We had some on Children in Need. Goodness me.
That would crush most people. And he was like,
it's not brain surgery.
No, it's not brain surgery. So you started working with him in 95. Is it 95? 95 on Children Need you started, wasn't it?
Do you know, I don't know. I think I did 94, but I wasn't hosting it.
Yeah.
And then they brought me in to host it for 11 years.
Because he loved doing that with you, because it was that thing of, because it was, back then it was 7 hours.
7 hours of live and not that
TV.
scripted.
Not that scripted, not really rehearsed, and the two of you absolutely loving it when it went wrong.
Oh, we loved it. Completely. And it did go wrong a lot.
And then you got to do the Terry and Gaby show that was produced by our beautiful friend Chris Evans.
Yeah. So the three of us were back together, which was lovely.
Prior to people coming on this show, they have to answer their food questions.
Yes.
I have to say, Gaby, yours was what can only be described as detailed.
Well, it has to be, because I am really allergic. And the amount of restaurants that I go to these days, if you say you've got gluten allergy, they go, you don't mind just a little bit? I go, well, actually I do. And it happened recently.
I mean, it's one of my great pains is you've never been able to eat what I do.
I know.
Because it's
And
pizza.
how many times have I said, can you please get gluten-free?
And as I've said to you, I would do gluten-free if I could find a decent gluten-free flour that made something even remotely like a pizza.
Well, there is a company that do a gluten-free one, and it does taste a little bit sandy.
Yeah. They're all a bit... I sort of like it. When we've experimented with gluten-free flour and you make a pizza base, I think it's not dissimilar to the takeaway box that you serve it in terms of texture.
You sound like my husband, because everything that I get in the house, I'll get gluten-free this and that and the other. And there's a great gluten-free pancake that I make. And my husband he sort of picks it up and goes, whacks it, goes, well, it's a nice bit of cardboard.
Well, I mean,
He says it's taste-free, sugar-free. Yeah, but
fun-free.
But I cook things that I like.
Do you think it's because you're having so much fun otherwise you don't bother having it with food?
Do you know what? I do have fun with food as long as there's pickles. Love pickles. Pickles, everything. Pickled anything.
What could be under the cloches today? However...
Have you got any pickles?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. So I read this, and you focus on one of the things that I think is really important and we all forget, which is, and it sounds ridiculous to say it, but remembering to breathe. Did you do a lot of breath work?
No.
Meditation practice?
No,
that sort of
I
thing?
don't. Because I'm somebody who I don't need a lot of sleep. I did a sleep program for Channel 5 and learned so much about sleep. And I used to be so anxious. Everyone said, you have to have 8 hours sleep a night. I think, I don't. Anyway, doing that show, I learned a lot. But I've always got ideas. I love my jobs. I love what I do. I really do. And that.
Do you ever, because you seem to have boundless energy, do you ever get tired? Do you ever get home and go, I don't want to speak to anyone, I don't want to say anything, I've had enough of you all? Do you have those moments?
I don't really get, but I never have been very tired. Even when I was a child, I didn't sleep that much, and I'd get dressed the night before because I couldn't wait for the next day. Because the next day I might find out I had a TV show. Okay. Even when I was a child, because that's all I wanted to do. Yes. But
which is strange. Sorry to interrupt you, but which is strange because you touch on it in the book. An ambition for a very shy child.
Desperately shy. Oh, well, actually, the amount of people that I've spoken to who are actors or performers or musicians who suffered with shyness, I still do. There are times where I go out to a party and I'll be with my husband. He'll say, I'm just going to the loo. I go, no, you're not. You're not going to the loo. If you go to the loo, I'm coming with you. You can't go to the police. Don't leave me. And obviously, we've been together 18 years now, so he's quite used to that. At the beginning, he couldn't quite believe it because he asked me to a friend's party. We'd been going out a few months. And I said, no, I'm just gone really shy. I can't go. He said, are you sure? I went, no, I really, really can't. And then the next night, we were at the Albert Hall for a charity event. And it was one of my charities, and I was doing the pledge bit. And they came up to me 10 minutes before, and they said, the MC of the show has got food poisoning. Would you do it? I went, yeah, no problem. So I went on to the Albert Hall for 2.5 hours doing a show I hadn't rehearsed. No script, just introducing the biggest acts on the planet for this very big charity event. And at the end, I came back and I saw David and his jaw was on the floor. But you couldn't come to the party. I mean, that's different. I love this.
But isn't that funny? I mean, again, that's where you're similar with Dad. You could stick him anywhere. He'd get on with anybody. You could stick him in front of, tens of thousands of people talking or whatever. But he actually quite liked his own company.
He was probably quite shy as well, wasn't he?
The other thing that I notice is that, and why you two got on so well, is neither of you really entertain negativity.
No.
At any level. It's just like,
life's too short.
he would go, what are you depressed about?
Yeah. No, but there are people who do suffer with depression. I think we have to be really and we have to be careful with that word. But I think I try and turn things around, and I think I've always been like that. So if instead of having road rage and somebody pulls out in front of you and hooting your horn and screaming, just rethink it and think maybe they've got to get to the hospital, or maybe something's happened. And it's just being more accepting. I think everyone's very judgmental.
I've had to learn that, because now I don't live in London anymore and I have to commute in for work. What you learn when you're doing that every day is just let it go.
Let it go.
Just let it go.
You can sing the song.
If that person wants to cut you up, let them.
Yeah. Life's too short. My mum died very, very young, and I think that's the important thing. You just every so often you just go, you know what? I'm still here. How lucky am I?
Although when he was alive, Dad and I would have quite heated discussions about this, where he'd go, well, what are you feeling insecure about? What are you worried about? And I would say to him, go, you are the exception to the rule. The rest of us are there going, how do I do this?
But that's important.
I don't feel able.
I think that's really important. And I do say that in the book, that, I don't want it to seem trite, that, everything can be jolly. Don't fake it. You can have moments of joy in a day. I'm not saying all day is joyful. I've gone through the most horrific times with Mum and Dad in 2 different hospitals with 2 different cancers, and Dad getting the all clear and Mum dying that day, and then Dad having a stroke. And so all of that was a horrific time, but I still looked for the joyful bits in between.
No, I think that is the thing. And it's that somebody said it to me a while back, because, we all had different experiences, say, in the lockdown period. And I think if you didn't have between sort of 2 and 25 moments during that sort of couple of year period where you went, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
You were dead from the neck up, or really rich, or maybe both. But I think that that thing of being able to step back from it and go, and I've got this French friend of mine who goes, just be careful not to miss the joy. Whatever's going on,
I like him. Good man.
There will always be joy. And he literally does speak like that, despite having lived here for 30 years.
Do you know what? It's really, lockdown, there were moments that, like everybody, because I loved working and suddenly not doing what I was doing, I did my radio show throughout. But so I thought, this is going to be tough. I want to go out, because I walk every day. Right, find something to do. So I then did live Instagram, and I got the biggest stars from around the planet because everyone was at home. And I worked out the things that were important. And as a family on a Friday night, we would sit down and we'd make our own homemade sushi that wasn't sushi at all, but we pretended it was. So anything, anything to find those little moments. But like everybody, yeah, of course. And right now, the cost of living crisis, we have to be totally aware. I mean, and the amount of people who are out there who do not have a home, and we have to do things for other people. That's part of it. It's vitally important.
But even if it's just only within your direct community, the idea that you consider somebody else.
Always.
Just be of service.
But you know what? Even saying good morning, even just walking past somebody saying good morning, and you can break them out of a really, really awful.
I mean, the problem is if you do that on the tube in London, they think you're mad.
I do it.
I know, but they do. They think you're nuts.
So on my Instagram, I do it quite often. But I leave home. I've done to see how many good mornings I could get. My record is over 30. So from the minute I leave home, I say good morning, and see how many people. And you get quite a few good mornings back. I've done it on the tube. I've also sung, it's in the book, about singing on the tube. This very strange experience, but it was great fun.
I like the story about the singing van driver.
Yeah. Oh, the lovely Amazon delivery guy.
Yeah.
He was so lovely because he never made it as a singer, so he goes singing everywhere. People's doors.
I like the idea of, he goes, occasionally I get told to shut up, but I just carry on singing and smile at them anyway.
He's so lovely.
I want him to deliver.
Love him. And actually, the amount of people that do sing in the street, I was walking past a very famous hotel in London, Claridge's, and the doorman outside was having a little dance around. And I said, oh, that's a lovely dance. And he went, oh, Gaby Roslin. I went, oh, Claridge's. And I said, keep dancing. And he went, all day? I went, yeah. So he danced, so I skipped off and danced a bit. And it was just a moment of, he might be having really awful things happening in his life, but he had that little moment.
Yeah, don't miss the joy.
Yeah.
That is the extraordinary thing that, having been in a place where I couldn't see it, that when you do actually remove yourself from that, you realise how easy it is to just fall into a pattern of missing it. And it is available to you. And I know we can all sort of sound a bit new agey and perhaps, a bit sort of
trite.
Trite and perhaps over-therapized or stupid middle-class people or whatever you want to call it, that we're sort of talking like this. But when you travel, if you're lucky enough to travel and you go to other countries and you see people who have nothing and they are smiling.
They are smiling.
More than you.
Yeah. I think there's too much greed. I loathe greed.
Have you read that fantastic book, Status Game? By Will Storr.
Thank you, I will. Can you text me that so I don't forget it?
I will do. Which breaks down why we all get caught into this status game and why we sort of play this game of life rather. I mean, look, if the absolute zenith of surrender is living off grid and, eating everything that you grow on your own, fine. I mean, it doesn't necessarily appeal to me.
Yeah.
Because I quite like my creature comforts. So it is about balance as well. And I think that's what you get across in the book.
Thank you.
That it's about balance.
It is.
It's not all going to be unicorns.
No.
Don't miss when it is.
But it's the thing that I say. So I have little tasks in the book about things to try out. And one of the things I go on about is the very first thing in the morning is doing that, is just getting a little smile on your face. But it's the moment just before you reach for your telephone or your alarm to go off. And if you smile on your face, it's known medically that, and there's science behind it, that your brain then goes, I feel good. And then you do that, you keep that smile on your face, and then you go into the bathroom and you smile at yourself in the mirror. You do feel better.
I know, and people would think that is stupid saying it, but also,
try it.
In my experience, it is about being consistent with those practices.
Yeah.
What's that one? Discipline is freedom.
Yeah.
Because we all think being rigid about something will constrict us, but if you're disciplined about the things that might make you feel good, weirdly, you end up feeling good. Yeah. It's like, my morning default used to be, oh God, not this again. It's not anymore, because I have a little kind of practice that I do in the morning.
What do you do? Can I ask what you do?
Well, I meditate,
Right.
and then I visualise, and then I throw myself into iced water.
You do.
Which I know now. I saw a very funny meme the other day. This guy going, I just need to point out to all you people who ice bath, it's not a replacement for a personality, all right?
That's good.
But I do like it.
Yeah.
'Cause
I do cold water on my face and my body, but I don't want to shower. I don't want to have to wash my hair every day.
No, I've got
I also don't like
I've got a
showers.
big barrel in the garden.
You've got one of those?
Yeah, I've got a big barrel in the garden. I'll just get in that.
I've got a bath in my bathroom.
Yeah, I've got one of those too, but I like the outside thing, because then you can stand on the grass afterwards.
I don't have a big enough garden.
This next stage does require you to be blindfolded.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Okay. And I have the Spooning with Mark Wogan blindfold here, which many people liken to a small bra.
It is like a small bra.
But it will require you to remove...
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah, don't put it down.
I don't need to see anything.
No.
That's all right.
I mean, maybe if we just took your glasses off, you wouldn't be able to see.
No, actually, they're just for reading.
I'm going to go with this one here first.
You sure there's no gluten?
There's no gluten.
Okay.
There is no gluten.
I'm going off to work. Can you imagine me interviewing the next person I'm interviewing?
Okay. So I'm going to feed you the spoon, and what I then need you to do is describe the flavours and textures you're experiencing.
Oh,
Here it
gosh.
comes. Open
This
wide.
is really frightening.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on, trust me.
Okay.
Trust me.
Okay.
A bit wider. Oh, you didn't take the whole spoon. Hold on, it's not going well, this. What is it? Oh, it's coming out.
Is that rice pudding? Ah, it's my hell. Oh, God. That's disgusting.
Well, Gaby, you've excelled yourself.
There's
with
only
what
one thing I don't like on the planet, and it's rice pudding. Oh, I think it's the invention of the devil. You can give me gluten and make me feel sick and ill and can't breathe, but don't ever do that. Oh, I hate rice pudding. Is that what was under there?
Yes.
Oh.
But we thought we'd dressed it. It's a beautiful.
But it's not.
Homemade.
No, it's disgusting.
Rice pudding.
Oh.
With white truffle shaved over the top of it. I mean, it's God's dessert. This one.
Oh, it's disgusting. That is disgusting.
Creamy,
I think, God, it's disgusting.
comforting.
I can't even
Loads
look
of
at rice pudding.
Loads of vanilla.
My kids will be laughing so much at this because they tease me. They show me pictures of rice pudding. Oh, I came all the way here for... Oh, that was disgusting. How could you do that? It's the only thing I don't like.
Well, our job here on Spooning is to... She's still trying to...
I'm so sorry because there's dead rice pudding in there.
Should we get Gaby another napkin? She might need it for the next spoon.
Oh, God, if it's more rice pudding.
No, there's no more rice pudding.
Oh, that's just horrible. How can anybody like rice pudding? Oh,
Delicious. I don't know what's wrong with you.
that's just the only thing I don't like.
But I mean, it's definitely not the only thing you don't eat, judging by...
No, but it's allergy and all sorts of things.
I just...
Oh, that's revolting. It's
you
still in my
still
mouth.
taste it?
Yeah.
But do you not like vanilla?
I don't like sweet things, really. And I don't like rice pudding.
I think we've established that.
That was so horrible.
I don't think
I'm so
anybody-
sorry to the chef, because I bet he's a marvellous chef.
He is, Jamie.
My husband will not believe I just did that. And my girls will be teasing me for years. Their favourite thing to do is just to show me a picture of rice pudding. Like, will you stop?
I mean, is there... I wonder if there is a word for a phobia of rice
It's not
pudding.
phobia. I just don't like it.
Because you've also said you hate risotto.
No, I don't hate risotto.
But it's the same thing.
No, I don't. It's all that savoury and it's not creamy, milky stuff with rice. It's like, no, I'll tell you what, it stems back to when I was at school and I ate rice pudding and I vomited it out. And it just stays with you.
Which pretty much happened just now.
Bleh.
Well, we...
Spread the joy.
Spread the joy.
Don't spread the rice pudding.
We are... Our job here on Spooning is to try and change opinions.
Well, that didn't work.
And we have failed miserably there. So I will ask you to don this one more time.
Oh, no!
Well, I mean, you can guess. If it's, we've given you something you hate, maybe now you're going to get something you like. Who knows?
Oh, dear Lord. Okay.
Here is your
Oh, no.
next meal. I thought that rice pudding was delicious.
It was really revolting.
Absolutely. Probably one of the best rice puddings I've
It's
ever
the
eaten.
most disgusting thing.
Right. So here
Oh,
is your
God.
second spoon,
Oh.
based on your questionnaire. Breathe. Do you need a moment? Remember, you're the one who teaches us to breathe in this breath and
Okay.
drink. Have
All right.
a good breath.
Okay.
Let it out.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Open wide. Bit wider. Bit wider. There we go. Now.
Oh,
what do
that is amazing.
you see.
That's my favourite thing on the planet.
Describe the flavours. Describe the textures.
Oh, that's perfection. I think it's tuna
Yes.
and avocado
Yep.
and chili.
And a little bit of caviar.
Is there
Go on, take your blindfold off. You can see
okay.
it now.
Is there lime in there?
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is
Oh, that's perfection.
Cornish tuna.
That's
Jamie has prepared. He's put it through
because it's okay. Cornish tuna is okay because obviously we have to be
all
really
sustainable.
Sustainable.
All
about it.
sustainable. And it's been given a light sort of citrus dressing, and then he's got that sort of little touch of sort of avocado-esque guacamole.
Oh, it's
And
incredible.
then topped with a little fine caviar.
That was
for you.
incredible. That was that's my final meal.
Oh, we
No, my
found your
last meal.
death row meal.
Yeah.
All right. So, Jamie, you've made her death row meal for her.
You might have killed me with the rice pudding.
Yes, admittedly. You are welcome to your second spoon.
But isn't that? Do you want
No,
it?
that's yours.
Do you not want to eat it?
No, it's
Will you
it's
try
all
it?
about feeding me.
Will you? No, you've got to try it. I've just had a spoonful.
Okay.
You've got to try it because it is lovely.
I mean, I tried it.
See, I love savoury food, but I love it when it's multi-layered, and you can just, and each bit that you eat, you can then get another layer and another. That is.
Well, with that, you've got the kind of subtle bit of the tuna. You get the kind of creaminess and the little bit of heat in the avocado.
Oh, it's
And then you get the extra sort of uplift of the sea with
that was
the
incredible.
caviar as well.
Absolutely incredible.
Well, I mean,
I'm pleased you did it that way round. Because I'm going to have that taste in my mouth all day.
we try and leave.
In fact, I think I need to book in downstairs and eat here.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's going on many. So is the rice pudding, if you're interested. That will be up. No. Don't worry. You've got a twinkle as well, and you do spread joy wherever you go. And I can't thank you enough for joining me here.
Thank you very
Spooning.
much.
And being very brave.
Yeah, I can't believe you gave me rice pudding. It's the only thing I really
The
hate.
thanks for that goes to Jamie Shears, the head chef here, and the team at Mount Street, who once again have put up what I thought was spectacular food, and
Oh, the tuna. Oh,
and Gaby thought the tuna was nice.
not just nice. I just said it's my final meal.
It's the final meal.
Yeah.
Just don't follow it with
rice pudding.
Okay. Now, if you like what we're doing here at Spooning, you can follow us at Spooning with Mark Wogan across all your social media channels, and you can find us wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, because we film this as well. A massive, massive spooning thanks to Gaby.
Thank you
who
very
will
much.
be spreading joy via her new book, which is out to buy now. So go and get it if you want to put a smile on your face. And we will be back next week with another very special guest who will be challenging them for the food they think they love and the food that they think they hate. Until then, make sure you stay beautiful.